I think so. Moving to Texas, I had no idea what the state of Texas alone was going through. I mean, when I moved down here, it was kind of a culture shock and learning that Texas thinks it's its own country in general, but
dang right.
But actually later finding out that Texas is going through a over decade-long lawsuit with the state because of we're in a capacity crisis, and foster care in Texas has been on people's radars for a very long time and trying to get it right for over 10 years. And so it's made this whole experience definitely hard. I don't know anything outside of it, but, and then throw a pandemic in that too. There's some things that I'm learning definitely that are specific to Texas that make my job a little bit more hard or interesting depending on which way you look at it. But yeah.
Well, what are some of those things? Like, what are some of those things? Well, you can be balanced in this. So you can say, what are some of those things that are like a struggle that are just like, why the heck aren't we going to fix this? Right. And then from there, like, share some things that maybe like are good components of what's going on.
So with like the whole capacity crisis, people are like, oh, we need foster parents. We need more licensed homes. We need more places to be able to put children. I mean, especially over the last, year, and specifically this year alone, you hear about children who are in state's care, spending nights in hotels with CPS workers or having to sleep in offices and stuff like that. And it is hard to find, not only people who have the hearts to be able to want to foster, who want to go through the process of becoming a foster parent, and which that alone is insane, but also being able to, you don't just want to put kids in homes. You're like, yeah, they have a roof over their head, but are they having their needs and wants met? Are they, actually living, not just merely surviving? And you don't, with the whole lawsuit, there's kids dying, there's kids not having their medical needs, their mental health needs met. So you have to have the right heart for it, but you have to put in the work too. There are people, unfortunately, that did not do their jobs correctly and did not think about children. So definitely what's been hard is for the last year and a half, I don't even know how long we've been on it, but agencies, group homes as a whole, everyone's been under what's called heightened monitoring. So we have been under watchful eye of the state, constantly doing extra check-ins, extra documentation, extra trainings to make sure that everyone is staying in compliance and that we are doing our jobs to make sure that these kids are being, loved and nurtured and safe. So it is hard because I work in a field that one or two or a couple people mess up their jobs. It makes it hard for a lot of other people, for those who actually want to do their jobs and do it right. I like to think that I'm a little bit more on the optimistic side. I'm not a DFPS investigator. I'm not the one actually responding to the neglect and abuse hotline and going into the homes or wherever the hotline call was made or a police report, and I'm not the one actually removing the kids from whose ever care, but I am the one obviously helping out the aftermath part of, we meet up with the kids, whether it's at 1 a.m. or, we get a call and we are able to place a child, which is great, but we have to be there to be able to comfort foster parents, and, it might be their first time and they're not aware of what could happen. We may know the age, race, gender, some background of a child. We might not know anything really, but we at least know like the basics, and then waiting on a foster parent for their yes. And and foster parents' jobs as a whole is they're the ones dealing kind of with all the aftermath, all the questions, if a child's verbal, and the trauma and the, aftermath of the removal. So yes, I'm not the one actually physically removing the kids from wherever their bad situation may be, but helping them get to a better place is almost just as hard.
Mm-hmm.